Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Friday. It's Canada Day, so I thought we should probably do something to mark this. So a flight from Air Canada, and this is another real-world route from Vancouver to Edmonton. Two airports I have absolutely zero information about. I have no local knowledge, and we're on VATSIM as well, so we're going to have some fun. I don't know if we've actually got any ATC this evening, but well, it wouldn't be this evening, would it? I think in Canada, the western coast. Not quite sure what the local time is, but either way, we are on VATSIM. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Completely different scenery to that we are used to seeing in Europe and in the EasyJet real op streams. So come, grab a seat, enjoy, and we'll try and muddle through this together with the charts on hand. The operational flight plan has been pinned already into the chat if you are watching on YouTube, and of course if you're watching on Twitch, hello to our Twitch viewers. So welcome on board Daniel's Aviation, Northwest Aviation, Chucky, Simon, Alexander, Von McLean, Lando Legs, Carl, Dark Fury, Wallaceack, hello, Berkey P, Aviator Patrick, Jayhawk, good evening to you, Dacian Bushnell, and Nick, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Crumpet says 12 PM local time. Thank you, Crumpet. And Matthew says, well, you picked one heck of a flight to do. We are indeed crossing the Rockies as well, so lots of terrain on our approaches, which adds a little something to it, doesn't it? But any local knowledge that you guys have got from this side of the planet, always happy to take advice and point out any gotchas that I may not be familiar with. Martin Boyd, good evening. New to the channel as well, Martin. Oh, well, Martin, make sure you get yourself sat comfortably as we start getting loaded up, and we'll take you, hopefully, on a safe flight to Edmonton. We're going to get everything loaded up. Our pushback time isn't for about another hour. Obviously, we're going to try and beat that. LEDT says good afternoon. Oh, good. Yeah, is it afternoon? Yeah, it's just past midday, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, so good afternoon. Carl says, I've been to Montreal, Ottawa, and the Niagara Falls. Carl, I've been to 0 of those places. So yeah, I'm literally completely out of my depth, but it will be good fun. Let's get on board, shall we? I just need to check if you guys can see my cursor. Yeah, you can. That's fine. Right, let's get on board. Now, with with an Air Canada livery, of course, comes some slightly different changes. We've got analog gauges for the standby instruments, as we can see down there, which is different. Altimeter 3006 as opposed to the usual, so just a couple of little things that I need to get reacquainted with at this side of the point. Math says you can accelerate to above 250 knots while below 10k when cleared to climb to an altitude above 10,000 feet in the Great White. Oh, okay, that's a neat little thing to know. Dark Fury, no scenery. No, I don't have any. Why would I have scenery for this side of the planet? I apologise, guys, but no, I don't have scenery. I don't even know if there's any freeware scenery available for this. Canada hasn't been one of the World Update parts either, has it? So yeah, little lacking in the scenery department, but there you go. Flight Sim channel says hello from Zurich on Twitch. Good evening to you. Right, let's go ahead, just check my flight. Yeah, so 61 minutes is our pushback time, but let's not get too bogged down with that. We're going to obviously try and beat that. Let's just have a look at the METAR at the moment, see what we've got. Do you know what? The METAR as well, the other side of the pond, is really confusing to someone that's not used to seeing all this kind of stuff. Things like little remarks in there that you don't normally get. Well, thankfully, for anyone that is struggling with stuff like this, there's some handy little apps available. So if I actually go in, use the app which I've got on my phone in front of me, I can quickly just grab that METAR and it'll be decoded to a certain point. Now, this little section here, so I'm a little bit of a guess with this. So the little remarks here: towering cumulus embedded, SLP 186. Again, little remarks, not too familiar with those. And a density altitude of 600 feet. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. But we've got 25 statute miles visibility, so visibility is great. Fuel clouds 4,000 feet, fuel clouds 1,500 feet, and 20 degrees as well. So yeah, all in all, weather's good. I can look outside the window. The weather's good, and winds 150 at 7. And Matthew says, "Don't ask him about that CU1 AC1." Well, Matthew, if you don't know, then we don't stand a chance. We'll move swiftly on. So QNH then is well, the altimeter is 3007. Here in the sim, ironically, it's 3006. Which should we go with? I'm going to leave it at 3006 if that's what the weather in the simulator is currently simulating. We've got our aircraft in a turnaround state. Look at the clouds building over there. We've got our aircraft in a turnaround state, so we've just obviously got the nav lights on, fuel pumps, etc. I will, of course, be flying, even though we're in Air Canada, we'll be flying EasyJet SOPs, just because that's the norm on this channel. Everything down here looks to be in good working order, and I've got Unicom tuned as well, just to the standby for the time being. So with everything happy and whatnot down there, let's go ahead and start getting our aircraft set up. So before we can get the passengers on board, let's get the APU up and running. There we go. Once the APU is up and running, we can obviously start thinking about getting things loaded. Now, let's have a look at our operational flight plan and see what we've got weather-wise at the other end. Let's give this a second to load and import. There we go. Right, so we're actually quite heavy for a little short flight today. Takeoff weight is... oh, we're not that heavy actually. Payload's quite heavy, but fuel-wise we're not that bad. So we've got around 6 tons of fuel, slight tailwind. Shear rate looks good. Let's just come and have a look further down. Now, just have a look at the Mora. Wow, straight away, we're straight over the Rockies, aren't we? So, for the first hour or so, looking at that, first hour or so, we if we get a depressurization, then hopefully we've got some good weather. We'll find some escape routes. That's interesting to know. Weather at the destination looks good, or certainly was at the time the operational flight plan was created. Let's jump down to our weather then and see what we've got at Edmonton. Oh, good lord. How far into the forecast are they predicting stuff? Right, okay, so let's see what we've got on the forecast here. So from 1800 Zulu, that's come and gone. From 2000 hours Zulu, that's around now. We're expecting winds 260 and 8, showers in the vicinity, a probability of winds variable 25 knots and gusting 35 knots with light thunderstorms and rain cumulonimbus clouds as well. Well, this is just not what I wanted to see, to be honest. Well, it looks like awful weather overnight. Is it always this bad in Canada? Alright, fair enough. I'll have a little look at what the weather is doing now as well, but that's interesting to read. So, there you go. Let's have a look. Oh, there you go. So we're basically just flying over the Rockies, and we've got isolated and better cumulonimbus clouds up to our cruising level. So, excellent. If we need to get out of this, then what right, with my unfamiliarity and the potential for bad weather over the Rockies, through the Rockies, and at the other side of the Rockies, how much fuel could we actually take? What was the underload? Not very much. So, we'll throw an extra ton of fuel on. How much fuel for the alternate? Oh, 1500. Right, do you know what? I'm going to be really conservative. Let's go with 1.5 tons of fuel extra. So that's going to be 7.5 tons of fuel, which is 1.7 tons extra. I think, yeah, 1.7 tons extra. Nick has gifted 5 EasyJet SimPilot channel memberships. Nick, thank you so much for your support, mate, and welcoming new guys onto our channel. So J-Hog has been gifted a sub. Oh, J-Hog, so happy to have you on board, mate. Crumpet, Thomas Watts, Dave Scott as well, and Captain Goose. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Webleton membership. Make sure you get yourself on our Discord server and get into the membership lounge as well. Matthew, sometimes summertime in the north equals storms. Fantastic. That's it's just what we want. Okay, so we're going to tell the guys we're going to load 7.5 tons of fuel. Let's go and find that before we can start getting passengers on board. That APU up and running now. Let's get the bleed air on for a minute or so. Self-loading cargo will of course be providing the passenger sounds this evening. Luke says the underload is limited to 0 fuel weight, though we can take more than 1.5 tons. We can, but don't really need to. I think 1.5 tons, to be fair, is actually quite it is quite happy. I mean, yeah, because we could throw on, if we really wanted to, we could throw another 2.5 tons of fuel before we're getting close to our maximum landing weight. Bear in mind, the Fenix maximum landing weight is only 74.5 tons. There are Airbuses around that obviously have a higher maximum landing weight than that. So we're going to be about, a ton underneath our maximum landing weight, aren't we? By the time we get there, and that's fine. Right, the chrono's reached a minute. Let's get the bleed air on and let's start getting passengers on board. Oh, the bleed air is already on. I didn't turn those off. Oh well, never mind. Right, onto the mass and balance page. Let's chat to the ground crew, tell them what we want. 7.5 tons. Right, time to get boarded.
Cabin crew, we can open the doors now and start letting them on board. Thanks very much.
Sure, no problem.
Right, passengers loaded. It's time to go through and set up the box. Lenny says, this is my first American flight. You know we're in Canada, right? But if you mean North American flight, no, it's not. It doesn't mean that I'm familiar particularly with various ATC procedures. I think the one that always catches me out over here is the fact that you don't have to call for startup and pushback, just taxi. You're kind of reliant upon the ground crew not to drive you into to other aircraft. All right, so let's go through and check the normal things. So we've got 3 nav green aircraft status. Fenix, that's all fine. All right, let's get our init request. Check this is all correct. There we go. So we've got a flight number is ACA240. Cost index today is 6. That's still quite low. I was expecting higher than that. To be fair, I didn't manually select that. I left that in to be automatically selected from SimBrief. So I actually was hoping it was going to be high. I'm always flying a low cost index. Cruise flight level today is flight level 370, and it's going to be minus 53. Tropo is 36584. Ground temperature is 20. We'll grab the winds as well. GD, the ground crew of Vancouver like doing a Michael Jackson moonwalk. I've seen a few of the ground crew of Microsoft Flight Simulator doing something rather similar. That's fine. Let's check our IRS init. Bring Navigraph over. Have I got the charts with the coordinates on? Where are we? We're at stand 45, I think. Remember, we've not got real, we've not got scenery for this. 49, 11, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 11.1. That's fair enough. Hey, Pack Andrew, day's been good. Thank you. Hope you've had a good Friday. It's now the weekend. Yay. Right, flight plan. Now this is interesting because I don't actually have a standard instrument departure for this, so we're obviously going to be departing on... Oh, we can't do that, fair enough. We're going to be departing runway 08 right, but then no SID for our departure. Insert. And we're just going to clean that up. And then at the other end, the arrival. Now this is interesting because the operational flight plan is already out of date with regards to the runway we're going to be landing on. We're not going to be landing on runway 20. I believe we are now landing on runway 2. So that's going to be ILS 02. The star that's in there, however, is still valid for this, and that's the Elks 3. Yeah, Elks 3. Arrival, and the VIA is going to be, let's double check, is it VigV? Yes, I believe so. Bringing us in there, yeah. And insert. Might be a little difference in the distance. Operational flight plan's got 479, I've got 450. Fair enough. At the Vancouver 1, can we? Well, that's basically just straight out, isn't it? So I can probably pop that one in. Oh, wrong button. Can I add that back in? Is that going to let me? Yeah, departure. And can we add the Vancouver 1 departure in there? Oh, there we go. Manual, and then we'll go direct to Yannick. Manual leg, so we can't declare the discontinuity. Fair enough. Radnav page will tune to the Yankee Victor Romeo. That's already tuned, but I'm just going to hard tune that because I'm going to use that as my engine out procedure. Yankee Victor Romeo. Init B. Let's see what we've got. So Matthew says you'll want to do the Yankee Victor Romeo 1, the Vancouver Radio Victor departure, what we call the obstacle departure procedure. Thank you, Matthew. So, have we got the preliminary load sheet yet? No. Okay. So, zero fuel weight according to OFP is 59.3. And then the fuel for the alternate, what did I say? It's about 1.5 tons, isn't it? Yep. Notice I am still using tons and kilograms, not pounds. I didn't want to get that confused. So we're taking 7.5 tons, and the aircraft says, oh, 5.9. Loads of extra. 49 minutes extra, to be precise. Peer225 on Twitch, hello. And MP, hello. You're not late at all, we're still boarding. In fact, you're right on time. Right, onto the performance page, which we cannot yet do because I haven't got my preliminary load sheet. They're late with it. Oh well, never mind. You'll notice as well that I haven't actually got too many liveries here for flying in the USA. So, as it's not, sorry, Canada, not the USA, as it's not somewhere we go too often. So you're probably going to see quite a few default liveries. Never mind. Matthew, so yeah, we'll give you vectors so you don't run into cumulo granite. Fair enough. Don't want to crash into that. And Jen's also saying most airports in North America don't really have real SIDS, it's just a heading. Very strange in your opinion. Well, they think, I know they think it's strange when they come over to Europe because we have SIDS that you have to follow. You don't just take off and fly a heading after departure and then get a radar vector. Normally you fly a SID and then you may get a direct to a waypoint further down the line. But yeah, for the most part, it's in North America, it's just fly out and we'll tell you where to go. Which, I don't know, in some respects that's perhaps a little bit easier, certainly for starting out. Alright, well whilst I'm waiting for that load sheet then let's do a departure, shall we? Let's go back to the weather and see what we've got. This will, is that the right one? No, let's try again. My flight get the latest meta. Just update that in case it's changed. It has a little bit, but right, let's chat about the weather then for our departure. We've got great visibility, winds 130 at 8, so slight crosswind from the right as we're departing. Visibility is fine, few towering cumulus clouds at 4,000 feet, 21 degrees, QNH is 3007. Towering cumulus 1. I'm guessing. Is there just one? I'm sure there's more than that. Density altitude 600 feet. So runway condition is good on the face of it. So shouldn't have any issues with that. En route, we'll have a quick check. And for those of you that wrong one. Let me grab the correct app. Yeah, so en route we can see that we've basically just got a great big band of isolated cumulonimbus clouds in front of us, so we may have to divert around those for weather. Anti-ice may be on for a little bit as well. And then at the other end, let's see what the weather is doing right now in Edmonton. And right, so at the moment the visibility is 15 miles, winds 020 at 12, so landing runway 2 is good. Scattered 2,500 feet broken, 10,000 feet, and flight level 250. 20 degrees, altimeter 3000. Have no idea what CU3AC2CI1 means, but it sounds impressive. But the main thing for me there is that we've not got thunderstorms yet, and the visibility is good. So the aircraft we have is the Fenix A320, fully serviceable with the exception of weather radar. Performance on this aircraft is set to be a little bit better than the norm, not burn quite as much fuel as we would expect. No NOTAMs for our departure today. Let's talk about threats. I'll bring the charts up for this. So, where is the... hang on, let me just bring up a a chart for the Vancouver one. There it is. So, straight out. Threats then. One, complete unfamiliarity with the airport, so need to pay special attention to where we're going to taxi. Nice long runways, but then we have a high minimum safe altitude pretty much as soon as we departed, 6,700 feet. We have terrain straight in front of us to the north and to the east. So if anything goes wrong, I'm going to be looking to straight away head back west, where we know it's nice and safe. Not turning left, we're going to be turning right. I'll discuss engine out procedures in a minute. There looks like to be a little bit of traffic around, so we'll make sure we're tuned to Unicom. We've got no ATC, however. No weather are going to cause us any threats though on departure. Let's have a look at the pushback. We are parked at stand 45, I think it is, which is around here. So we're going to follow the actual taxi routes that they give us. So we're going to push back onto Juliet Charlie, and we're going to taxi out Juliet Charlie Kilo Victor Lima. And then we'll take Lima 4. Well, I say we'll take Lima 4. We might be taking Lima if we've only got full length available. In fact, I did read somewhere in the charts for this airport, it says intersection departures are not permitted. So we will look to be taking full length. So, Crumpet Matthew, do they actually give different types of clouds? This is brilliant. So we've got Cumulus doing 3/8, Alto Cumulus giving 3/8, and Cirrus covering 1/8. Now, for those of you who are not METAR geeks, then that could perhaps be quite confusing. As a self-confessed METAR geek, so, well, not METAR geek, but cloud geek, the difference between Cumulus clouds and Alto Cumulus clouds and Cirrus, yeah, I think that's quite impressive that they give you actual individual different cloud types. So the cumulus clouds are quite convective. You can get, they're the ones that are usually quite low down. They build up during fair weather days. They're the fluffy white clouds that you get, and you can get little turbulence as you're going through those normally. Alto cumulus, similar to cumulus, perhaps not quite as convective because they're higher up. And then the cirrus clouds is just that really, really thin, wispy stuff that we're not bothered about. But yeah, that's impressive. I kind of wish we did that over here. That'd be quite interesting. What's really interesting now is we can actually have a look around to see how well Microsoft Flight Simulator is doing at replicating that. Right, so that's how we're going to do the taxi. Let's have a look at the SID. Well, yeah, the SID. Straight out on runway heading 083, and then once we're nice and safe above 6,700 feet, I'm then going to look towards turning towards our first waypoint. Now, our first waypoint on this is a waypoint called Yannick, and the moorer there is 9,300 feet. Now, we're going to be VMC, which is nice, particularly as I'm unfamiliar with the area. So once we above the minimum safe altitude, we can perhaps look at getting to Yannick, but we need to be above 9,300 feet at Yannick. If I don't think I'm going to do that, I'll delay that first. So that's the SID done. Noise abatement departure procedure here. I haven't got any information, so I'm going to presume noise abatement departure 1. Our initial climb is going to be up to 7,000 feet. So let's just go ahead and set that. That's all done. So, nice straight out, noise abatement 2, initial climb 7,000 feet. Our first turn is going to be a left turn when we're happy, and transition level, of course, here is 18,000 feet. Right, let's do a emergency brief. So, standard Airbus emergency brief. I haven't actually got an actual engine out procedure for this airport because, well, as you know, normally if you follow the channel, we're always in Europe. So I'm going to basically create one, which for me is going to be a right-hand turn, not too long after departure. I want to make a right-hand turn, and I'm going to get myself over the Vancouver hold, which we know is nice and safe. I don't want to continue out because, well, there's hills over here, the Rockies, and I don't want to become part of them. So let's go ahead and set up the secondary flight plan. Can't do the performance page yet. I'm still waiting for that preliminary load sheet. So, go to our secondary flight plan. We will copy the active. And then manual, yes, and our first turn is actually going to be to the waypoint at Vancouver, which was, what was the identifier? Yankee Victor Romeo. So we'll pop that in there. There we'll enter the hold. That inbound course is 080, and the hold consists of right turns. After which, of course, I'll be coming straight back here. And I believe it would be 08 left, wouldn't it? No start, no veer. All set and done. Right, actually, I'm not too happy with that. It's going to take us out left on that initial departure, so I need to just add a waypoint in there. What I'm going to do is before this, well, I say it will. What is the go-around procedure here? Let me just have a quick look for 08 right. Go-around procedure is, yeah, a turn to the hold. Just checking. 083084. Just zoom in. Okay. Well, the main thing is, I just want to get to the Yankee Victor Romeo. There we go. That's better. Where's the hold gone? That's better. Lovely. Happy with that now. Lucas, I'm making my own set. Not my own set, just my own engine out procedure. Which, hopefully, of course, we should not need. Lucas, happy Canada Days to you. Hope you're having a good one. Right, we can get rid of that now. Okay, so refueling has completed by the looks of things. Let's go ahead and start turning some things back on. APU's up and running, so let's get rid of the GPU. Seatbelt signs can come on as well. Right, just going to send my my FO out. He needs to go and demand this load sheet so we can at least start running some performance calculations. If I go to the mass and balance page, we'll send that. Thank you. Right, first officer's back. Lucas, not avoiding you in Toronto. I just think we've done Toronto a couple of times in the past, so I just want to do something a little bit different. Right, what we got? So our init B page. Let's go ahead and update this. Zero fuel weight is indeed 59.3. Zero fuel weight CFG is 31.2. Updated. And a takeoff weight CFG of 29.7. That gives us a takeoff weight then. Oh, that bodes well. Takeoff weight of 666. Over to our tablet. So we're departing 08 right, surfaces dry, flaps 1. No, off 666 and 29.7. up live weather. And indeed, it is going to be full length. Oh, in feet, not in meters. Okay. So that's 154. These are nice and high. How long is this runway? 154, 154, 155. Transition altitude, of course, is 18,000. Thrust reduction acceleration is fine. Flaps 1. And the flex temp is 66, is that? 66. Done. Alright guys, we're just waiting for all our passengers to get on board. Let me just come back into the chat. As says you had an Alto cumulonimbus a month or so ago. Wow, weirdest thing you've seen. Fully fledged thunderstorms with a cloud bases at 24,000 feet and completely clear below. Caused by an unstable but incredibly dry air mass at the surface. I mean, we know that towering cumuluses and cumulonimbus clouds, thunderstorm clouds, can reach ridiculously high altitudes, but they're usually also quite deep, so they're close to the surface. But 24,000 feet up, that is indeed high. Baxi, thank you for subscribing. Well, now that we've done everything we need to, we can pretty much start running some checklists, I think.
Yeah, we're nearly ready to go, so you can go through whatever on board. Thanks a lot.
Boarding is still underway, but we're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
Christian, thank you for subscribing as well. Welcome on board. Right, before start checklist then. So our cockpit preparation is completed. Signs are on and auto. Ideas 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 7460 kilograms balanced. In fact, let me just check that's balanced. Yeah, it is. And FMJC set. Altimeter is 3006. Which is about 10 feet. Lovely. What's everybody got lined up for the weekend then, guys? While I'm waiting for these last few stragglers of passengers to get on board. See, this is the point where, let me just see how many we've got left to go. Oh, not very many. Not very many at all. But yeah, this is the point where we can actually go and do our duty. Go and welcome everybody on board. Say thank you for flying with Air Canada today. Yep, should be a great flight. Normally they do this at the end of the flight though, but I'm kind of wanting to know. We'll go and do a head count, shall we? Let's get back in our seat. That's the most random little hut. Boarding is now completed. Fantastic.
Captain, all passengers are on board and we're finished setting up. Doors are also now closed.
That's great, thank you.
And Christian says that Air Canada fly 737 Maxes on this route. They also fly A320s, my friend. Air Canada 240, give that a quick search on Flight Radar 24. You'll be sure to find that. Are there taxi lines at this airport? I have no idea. Andrew, what's my weekend going to be? It's going to be crowd controlling children, as per usual. Right, just need that final load sheet before we can do anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Flight, this is your captain speaking. My name is Gavin, and I'd like to welcome you aboard this Airbus A320 aircraft. Our flight time today should be as scheduled, and we're not anticipating any delays or any bad weather, so we should have a nice, pleasant, safe flight for you. In the next few minutes or so, we'd like you to get yourselves seated, sat down safely with your seatbelts fastened, and make sure the aisles are kept clear so that our cabin crew can go about seating other fellow passengers. The ground crew are nearly finishing loading everything into the aircraft, so we look forward to a safe and pleasant flight with you today, and we thank you for choosing to fly with the EasyJet Sim pilot. Thank you.
Lucas, the errant taxiway Lima is grass in the sim. Is it? Oh, that's... well, that's no good.
Cabin crew, we're about ready for flight, so if you can please all the door and cross-check. Thank you.
Right, I've just requested the final load sheet. See if that will come through. Oh, I can see Naked HD's made an appearance again. If one of the mods would kindly take care of that, that would be kind. Naked HD is the stuff of nightmares. Zero fuel weight then is 59.2. That's a little less, which gives us a takeoff weight of 66.4. Excellent. 200 kilograms lighter. Right, we best get on to Unicom then, haven't we? And sort that out. So we've got takeoff weight CFG is 29.3. Let's grab the tug, move him into position. We've got a tug today, here he comes. Christian, just you as well, and welcome on board. An A220 would be interesting. That's going to be quite a great. I don't know any simulator yet that's got an A220. There may be one that I may have missed, but certainly not one I'm familiar with. Right, tug is connected. Let's tune over to Unicom. Just before I do that, have we got any aircraft around us? Nope, looks like we are completely on our own, so that's good. Just have a look at the weather over at the far end. Okay. Right. Yeah, this is going to be a fun flight looking at that. You may have heard the real life cabin crew just jump in there, so that was quite realistic. She didn't bring me a cup of tea though, so that was also quite realistic. Let's make the call on Unicom. 122.8. Vancouver traffic, Air Canada 240, pushing back starting from stand 45, facing west. Okay, so we've got a big light on, nozzle steering is disconnected, we'll pop the transponder on. And we'll start the timer, reset that, and start. Before start, check this blue line, windows and doors are closed and armed, beacon light is on, mobile phone is not on silent, should be, and parking brake is on. Let's release. Back we go. Let's get those engines started. So engine mode selected to ignition and starting engine 1. And starting engine 2.
Pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from your cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, ensure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave all your carry-on luggage and items behind. Life rafts are located beneath your seats. Emergency lighting in the floor will guide you to your nearest exit. We now ask that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. Whilst we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures and the safety card in front of you. Electronic devices must now be switched off or turned to airplane mode until we instruct you that it is again safe to use them. Our cabin service will commence once we are in flight. If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel as a member and take advantage of the extra perks to make your journey with us more enjoyable.
FS Realistic
Thank you for
connected.
your attention and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Well, as pushbacks go, I actually think that was quite a good one. Engine number 2 is now stable, so engine mode selector back to normal. For the pushback at the moment, guys, I'm using Pushback Helper, which doesn't come with voices, so no need to deactivate those. Have to start checklist then. Anti-ice is off. Ecam status is checked. Pitch trim is 29.3. I need to double check that. 29.3. And rudder trim is set to 0. Christian, no, this is not the Vancouver add-on. No. I say this is just, unfortunately, default scenery. Just because I don't fly in the North America too often, I haven't got all of that stuff in my community folder. I'm afraid. Right, so we've briefed the taxi where we're going to be going. Let's call it out. We'll just do a flight control check actually just before we go ahead with that. So full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right rudder, full left, and neutral. Vancouver traffic, Air Canada 240 taxi now via Juliet Charlie, Kilo Victor Lima, holding point runway 08 right. Let our tug driver get out of the way. Okay, release parking brakes. Off we go. So quick PEDS check, no change to the performance, and the engine out procedure I've said is non-standard. Gonna make a right hand turn. Get ourselves to the Vancouver VOR where we'll enter the hold. Departure is the Vancouver 1 and our initial climb is going to be 7,000 feet. So left turn at the end here onto Victor. And then once we're on Lima, I will do the before takeoff checklists. A nice straight section of the taxiway. Just slow it down. We want to do turns not really much greater than 10 knots. And if it is a full-on hard 90-degree turn, that's the maximum as well. So, turn there, and then we kind of intersect the runway 13. We cross runway 13, not an active runway at the moment, so we don't need to get the strobes on, and then we kind of bear right a little bit. So here is the intersection with runway 13. Carl, you can only view in 114. Really? That's incredibly low. We'll just check that we've got nothing in sight. And we've not heard anything with regards to Unicom calls, so let's cross runway 13. Vancouver traffic, Air Canada 240, crossing now runway 13. Alright, let's do the before takeoff checklist to the line. Flight controls checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting config 1, FMA takeoff data 154 blue, 156 magenta, climb nav blue, 1FD2, 7000 blue, flex 66, transponder set ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, and stow the EFB. Steve on Twitch, hello. Andrew, have you ever had a engine failure, and if so, what's the procedure? Well, I've never had one live on stream, but definitely practiced it, which, it depends. When does everyone expect an engine failure to occur? I spoke a little bit about this the other day on stream. So pilots will practice engine failures at the worst particular moment, and that is just after V1. So they're committed and suddenly they've just lost an engine. The idea with that is, of course, you have to rotate, and you rotate at about 12.5 degrees pitch, so it's much shallower. 12.5 degrees pitch. Get yourself up nice and safe, around above 400 feet, confirm the failure, and obviously if it's engine fire, etc., you need to run through the various ECAM drills. Get the engine secured using the rudder to counteract any trim, and once that's nicely trimmed out, engage the autopilot to fly the engine out procedure that we've already briefed. Dishy McFlufface. Great name. Failures are turned on, yes, so it could happen. Never say never. Now, just need to get a bit of SA awareness going on here. So, that is our runway, but we're doing full length today, so that's down here and around, and yeah, fair enough. Jamie Squires, good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming on board. Glad you like the channel. MP, let's say if you were flying with an A320 in real life and the pilot and the co-pilot, should we say, become incapacitated, could I land the aircraft? Yes, but I'd be getting the autopilot to do it. Right, I can't see any of the stop hold bars, so we'll hold here. This is quite far back. But yeah, that's all good. No ATC online and no ATC calls from any other aircraft. So let's announce our lineup. Vancouver traffic, Air Canada 240, lining up for departure runway 08 right. Owen Murphy, good afternoon to you. Washington playing ball, good evening. Or good afternoon, I guess, for you. Christian says, when departing, look east for some nice scenery on the left-hand side. It's Canada, isn't it? It's all nice scenery. Tell you what, it's Friday night. I've got a good Friday night quiz question coming up for you, Andrew. You'll like this one, based on based on that scenario. Okay, cabin is secured, engine mode selector is normal, TCAS TARA, packs off, anti-ice off. Let's go. Takeoff. Start the chrono. 50% in 1. Engine stable. Set takeoff thrust. Manflex SRS runway. Knots checked. Little rudder keeping us on that centre line. V1, rotate. Runway. That doesn't say runway, that says nav. I thought that said runway for a moment. Set climb thrust. Thrust climb. Climb. Autopilot 1. Engaged. Flaps 0. Spoilers disarmed. So there is a great view and use of the terrain radar there. Look at that. Really looking forward to flying over the Rockies. Oh, I didn't put the packs back on. Speed Alt Star. Okay, right, let's continue our climb now. We'll set flight level 200. Set standard pressure. And let's go direct to our first waypoint. We should be nice and clear now. Even though we're now cleared above 10,000 feet, I'm going to leave the speed in at 250 knots just to help us get higher quicker.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll shortly begin our cabin service as we continue to climb to our cruising altitude. You may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable battery packs are also available to purchase from our cabin crew. You can also ask them about joining our frequent flyers and becoming a channel member. Thank you.
We're now above the minimum safe altitude for our, or the minimum off-route altitude for our first waypoint, so all is well. "10,000 feet. Ding the cabin crew, they can start getting their cabin service ready. Get the landing lights off. I'm going to leave the passenger seatbelt signs on for the moment. It is a little bit bumpy. Right, okay, so we're not going to make flight level 370 for the moment, but we can make 35, so let's go for that. Flight level 350 blue. And Land O'Lakes is celebrating 10 months of memberships with us tonight. Says, nice departure, can't wait for a bumpy cruise. It looks like that's exactly what you've got in store there, Land O'Lakes. So yes indeed, bumpy cruise. Matthew says you've got to push 250 below 10,000 when given the chance. Honestly, with the unfamiliarity of it, I didn't know how close these these Rockies were going to get before we got over them. So you know, I'm happy to remain at 250 and get high. But I do think you're going to be able to enjoy some great scenery the entire way. Flight time is around 1 hour and 11 minutes. Now, looking in front of us at the moment, I can see that I don't seem to have too many embedded cumulonimbus clouds in front of us. Turn the seatbelt sign off for the minute.
Radio check.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
And I finally managed to get FS Realistic back installed on the new rig, so that's responsible for the vomiting inducing views you can see at the moment as we're bouncing up and down. Alexandre says, in the province of Quebec, Canada Day is the moving day. Everyone who has to move moves on the 1st of July. Wow, I bet the house removal companies are so busy that day, if that is the case. Leon Mustafi, hello. Lucas, does the title say NX? Does it? I might need to go and edit that. Indeed it does. There we go. Quick edit. If you enjoyed the flight and stream so far, please don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help the channel. So thank you to everyone who's already gone ahead and done that. And of course, if you're new, don't forget to hit subscribe. This is going to be one of those flights, isn't it, where I don't want to spend any time in the flight deck. I want to spend most of my time looking out the window. Tyler the Gamer, we've just taken off from Vancouver and flying over the Rockies, so basically turned north. Does FS Realistic also simulate turbulence? To an extent, yes. And I don't know if you heard that. It was very quiet. If you didn't, rewind the stream 10 seconds, turn the volume up. I've just heard the toilet flush. FS Realistic has it all. And Dark Fury has gifted 5 EasyJet Sim Pilot channel memberships. Dark, mate, thank you so much. You know I appreciate all the support you give the channel. And so welcome to the membership gang. Yardi, Jason, Callis, and Captain HMW, and Nikosana. Big thanks to Dark Fury for the channel memberships for you guys. Dark, you're a legend, mate. Christian, if you're on a budget, knowing the fly-by-wire is a solid model, what would you recommend, Fenix or PMDG? Oh, do you know what? That is actually quite a tough question. Particularly, like you say, if you're on a budget, and let's face it, who isn't at the moment? I guess it depends what aircraft you like to fly. If you prefer Airbus over the outdated Boeing, then the Fenix is definitely the way to go. Matthew says a flight between Las Vegas to Denver will also give you some incredible views of the Colorado Plateau and Canyon Country. That's something we've never done on the channel, Matthew. Crumpet, yeah. Well, you know. Am I lying? And there's no better place to fly on Earth than Utah. Depends if you've got all engines working, right? Jayhawk, you may disappear soon. Looks like you're getting a storm. It's gone very dark outside, and it rained rained last time the internet dropped out. Well, that's rubbish, Jayhawk, because if you get a storm, then that's usually the prevailing winds mean I get it in about 10 to 15 minutes time. Christian, are both A320s different enough to own both? I would say so, yeah, and that's why we do flights for both on the channel. And then Dark Fury, you get it about 5 minutes after me. Yeah, so it's working its way across the across the middle of the UK. Tyler Gamer says you already had the Airbus fly-by-wire. Of course, he just decided to get the PMDG over the Fenix because, of course, already had the fly-by-wire. I mean, yeah, I can't say that's not a sensible decision. But if you do, I mean, if you love the fly-by-wire, then this does take it to the next level. It really does. So we are now, this is the interesting bit now. So let's talk decompression right now. We're on our way to the waypoint Vidri, and the Mora now is above 10,000 feet for the next well, for about 40 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so. So if we now had a decompression, and you know, it can happen, failures to turn on, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? I'm unfamiliar with the area, so just, you know, quickly sort of looking. You've got to find an escape route. There aren't that many looking that way. There you go. There's a valley. Don't look to be too many airports in the valley either. I mean, this is actually one of those places that if you had an issue, it's not a great place to be. There's no flat land. And what's the airport that's coming up? I can just see on the range rings. Again, because I'm completely unfamiliar, there's no way of me filtering these out. I don't know if any of these runways are actually big enough to take an A320. So the airports that I can see, I'm sure you guys, if you're familiar with the area, will know these. What we got? Charlie Yankee, Yankee Fox. So, yeah, where's that? I mean, that's a regional airport. If we have a quick look at the information. It's a 6,000 foot runway, which is about 1,800 meters. We could get in there. That is a potential. So LED Teeth says Charlie Yankee Lima Whiskey. Is that a slightly better option? Bear in mind, we're still quite heavy. That is a much bigger runway, actually. You're quite right. Kelowna International Airport. Yeah, you could get in there quite happily. So if I had an issue, that's my. It's 80 miles away, but that would be my my first port of call. Matthew says decompression over mountainous terrain is factored into your dispatch. Basically, it's calculated how long you would have to be above 10,000 feet in the worst possible scenario, and you're on board chemical O2. The generators have to be able to produce O2 for that length of time. This is the reason flights don't cross the Himalayas. Well, absolutely, Matthew. And you will know. Is that also factored in not just for the pilots, but what about the passengers and their O2 times? Because normally they only give you about 10-15 minutes of oxygen. Obviously the pilots can have more. I'm going to start looking at our arrival brief pretty soon, but just the views. I do like flying over America and Canada. I think the terrain is just so different to Europe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to commence our service of hot drinks and alcoholic beverages. Please assist us by ensuring your tray tables are down and that the aisles are kept clear of bags. Our drinks menu can be found in the pocket in front of you. We serve a variety of local and international coffee, tea, beers, wines, and spirits. Please note that alcoholic drinks will not be served to those under 18 years of age. We accept payment in cash, credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Oh, Matthew, of course you're right. The chemical O2s you were referring to, which are the passenger ones. What was the flight that had the old outdated chemical O2 generators and they caught fire, didn't they? I forget which flight that was, but go ahead and Google that. I am aware on Twitch that it's got the wrong aircraft. My apologies for that. Now, who was asking me about double engine failures over terrain and landing in a field? Was that you, Andrew? Yeah, Friday night quiz question. Without Googling, without looking up in books, etc. We're just at Alt Star. Let me just get to Alt Cruise. It's not going to go to our cruise actually, is it? It will in a second. Yeah, without googling. Our cruise. What is the glide ratio of the Airbus? How many miles per 1,000 feet? That's probably the best way to ask the question. How many miles per 1,000 feet can the Airbus glide? Or what do we use to sort of as a good rule of thumb? Barry says you fly a lot, as in a lot in real life as a passenger. You've had engine failures, you've had landing gears malfunctions, but you've never had the oxygen masks come out. Not waiting for it either. No, quite right too.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit once again, just let you know that we've reached our cruise level for the flight today. The cabin crew will be making their way around serving drinks, hot coffee, teas, etc. So please keep any aisles clear of items. We might just sit back and enjoy the rest of the flight. Thank you.
So I'll let you guys get your answers in on that Friday night quiz question. So Lucas says 9 or 3. There's a bit of difference between the two there. How many miles per 1,000 feet could we glide? Lucas says 9 or 3. Dishy McFly face says 3. Nick says 7. Matthew's gone for the wild guess of 5. Remember, we're talking double engine failure, so you've got nothing. Andrew says 10. Tyler the Gamer 43. I'm glad that was a typo. That would be some aircraft that could glide 43 miles every 1,000 feet. Elon Musk would be happy, so would Greta. Right, let me go through and check the arrival. So, 190, 8,000 at kick. And then VGV max is 210 knots. And then our platform altitude is 5,000 feet. Recommended 5,000 feet. Transition altitude, of course, will be 18,000 feet. MSA, our airport is 4,400. Visibility was good last we heard. And it's going to be 2525. How high is this airport? Elevation is 2326. ILS identifier India Echo Golf. Missed approach 5,000 feet. And we're planning ILS 02 on the Elks 3 arrival. Cigar says 1 mile per 1,000 feet. Dark says 12 to 1 or 20 to 1. Make your mind up, Dark. was the runway here? I hadn't checked that out. Oh, it's 3,000. That's fine. Whoa, look at the width. 61 meters wide. That's insane. Fair enough. So just looking where it's calculating our top of descent at the moment is at Urpux. And I just want to have a look, find Urpux and see. Oh, that's fine. So terrain's not going to get in our way on the way down. That's the main thing. I didn't want to start our top of descent and still be over the Rockies, being unfamiliar with them. We'll just check the box then, see what that's got in. So Elks, Upkit and Vigvi. Speeds all look good. Upkit, there's a speed constraint of 220 knots. Let's just pop that in, which is quite nice actually. That's pretty much a green dot, or a roundabout. There we go. Yep, that's all coded nicely. Let's have a look at the RadNav page. We've just got the Edmonton VOR. We've also got Zulu Delta. We'll tune both of those. In case we need some raw data, some electrics have failed. So we put the runway threshold as well. We've got 266 miles direct to there. We'll pop the weather in a little bit. We're expected to have 4.5 tons of fuel on board when we get there. I'll just copy the secondary flight plan. Okay then guys, let's do a brief. So, constraints, self-explanatory. We're happy to follow the constraints all the way down. I've just had to pop in a speed constraint there, which is quite nice. The way I plan on flying this is we will be green dot by AppKit. We will then get flaps 1 out as we leave VigV. And from VigV then it's going to be flaps 2 on this little segment then as we start to capture the localizer and the glide slope. Transit altitude is 18,000 feet and minimum safe altitude is 4,400 feet as we're 25 miles out from our airport. The moors are okay. Our descent isn't going to be impeded by terrain, so that's nice to see. Approach minimums, we've got 2525 popped in. Airfield elevation is 2326. We've got the ILS identifier as India Echo Golf. We're making an ILS approach. Platform altitude is 5,000 feet. Speed restrictions are already in the box. Auto brake low for our approach. We'll go ahead and pop that on. Once we're on the ground and vacating, we will vacate via Bravo 1, backtrack on Bravo to the terminal. If we have to go around, we've got plenty of fuel for the go around, and another attempt. We'll obviously climb out on runway heading, and then we intercept the radial to Tidug, enter the hold there. We can decide from there what we're going to do. Alright, it's pretty straightforward. If we get there and we have got thunderstorms, they did say it was a possibility. If we get there and for some reason there are thunderstorms, I will check out the weather in a moment. But we do have enough fuel to hold. Let's go ahead and check the weather now. Value jets that went into the Florida Everglades. Thank you, Lincoln. That's the one I was thinking of. Oh, we've got some VATSIM ATC. Have we? Indeed we do. Edmonton International Airport kit is not showing on there for some reason. Oh well, this is interesting. IFR approach ILS or on of Yankee on of Zulu and visual runway 30. Pilots will inform ATC requested approach initial contact, departure runways 2 and 30. Inform ATC initial contact, we have Quebec. That's interesting. Right, but what's the wind doing? Winds 350 at 11. And they want us to use ILS or visual runway 30. Well, they like their visual approaches over in North America, don't they? Where does that come in via? That comes in via Suvat. What SID would be required for that? Not SID, sorry, Star. Actually, I have no idea which star would be used for this one. Oh, here would be this one. Right, in that case it's going to be the Elxir Alpha Runway 30, which then has our via as, is it Mesva? Or Suvat, isn't it? Yeah, Mesva and Suvat. Okay, let's go ahead and change the information. So it's now going to be ILS 30. Suvat. Insert. Cycle through. So that should bring us in Elks, Mesdi, Alneg, Kisod. All of those are missing. I think I just need to re-enter that in. So if we pop the arrival in, try again. Check the start. It's still that, it should still be the correct one. I'm not quite sure why it's not got all of that information there. Very strange. Where's Lobty? No, that'll be to the north of the, yeah, it's most certainly not that one. Let me just try something. I'm just going to try changing the star. Oh, here comes the ATC. There we go. Now I've changed it. It's put them all back in. And insert. Quick cycle through and we'll contact ATC in a second. There we go. Everything's in. Right, just need to do a quick rebrief in a second, the new approach. It's over 80 miles away. Right, let's contact Edmonton Centre, which is 135025. Edmonton Centre, good afternoon, Air Canada 240, flight level 350, inbound Rombra, type A320, and we have information Quebec.
Air Canada 240 Edmonton Centre, good day to you, sir. Squawk 0430.
0430 the squawk, Air Canada 240.
Air Canada 240 identified at flight level 350. The information in Edmonton is now Romeo, but the only difference is that 02 is being used for arrivals in addition to 30. 02 is straight in for you, so you can plan an approach. For 02, you have an ILS or two RNAVs to choose from.
Roger, we'll take the ILS 02, please, Air Canada 240.
Air Canada 240, roger, plan the ILS runway 02.
We'll go Air Canada 240. Now you might think I've now got to go through and undo all of the work I have just done. Well, thank God for the secondary flight plan. And as you were. Top of the descent at about 80 miles.
Ladies and gentlemen, take advantage today of some fantastic savings and offers from our in-flight magazine. This can be found in the back pocket of the seat in front of you. These shopping ideas and gifts offer you tax-free savings with many items not available anywhere else and exclusive to you during your flight today. Our cabin crew will be around shortly to also offer you the chance to purchase airline lottery tickets. There is a chance to win some fantastic prizes, including cash and holidays. We accept payment in cash or credit and debit cards. Thank you for your support of this channel.
Right, so all the briefing we did thankfully was not in vain. 02 is available to us. We'll confirm that. And is it just me, or does it look like snow suddenly melting, reappearing, appearing? That is interesting. Lucas says the controller's name is Tony, is without doubt your favourite controller on VATSIM. Well, he sounds very professional, and I like him because he still gave us runway 2 as an option. Andrew, have I ever landed at this airport before? No. Nope, this will be my first time. So it's just not an area of the world that I've flown around too often.
United 2174, holding short, 35 right.
United 2174, airborne turn right to a heading of 360 and give me a call. Winds in Calgary are 050 at 11. Clear takeoff 35 right.
When airborne, go to 360, we'll call you clear for takeoff 35 right.
Back Andrew, what's the answer to the quiz question I asked you? Do you know what? I was just double checking because there were a couple of answers on there that just made me think, ooh, hang on. So I wanted to make sure I obviously didn't give you the wrong information. All I'll say so far though is if what I led to be correct is true, no one got it right. Or if they did, I apologise, I missed it. But I do want to just double check that. So I'll let you know before we land. Christian says, for your information, Edmonton is mostly flat. You can see your dog run away for days. That's an awesome way of describing it. That sounds like Lincolnshire. Maybe that's how I'm going to describe Lincolnshire from now on here in the UK. Speaking of dogs, most of you who are familiar with the channel will know First Officer George. We had a slight scare with First Officer George. Now, First Officer George, God bless him, he's 11 next month, which that's quite an age for a dog.
Helicopter Charlie Delta Echo Mike Sierra is 25 miles north of Edmonton at 3,000.
Oh wow, helicopter.
Delta Echo Mike Sierra, good day to you, sir. Squawk 0521.
0521, Echo Mike Sierra.
I don't think I've ever heard a helicopter on VATSIM before. Fair play to them. Yeah, so First Officer George is 11 next month, so he's getting on a bit.
Echo Mike Sierra, you're identified 3,100 feet. What's your destination on the field?
And rather concerning,
I'm going to be going for the Stars hangar at Edmonton, Echo Mike Sierra.
we sadly found quite a substantial
I'm sorry,
lump
say again which hangar that is?
on his underbelly, which was very concerning.
Sorry, I'm having mic issues. It's going to be the Stars hangar at Edmonton.
And
Echo Mike Sierra.
Okay, I don't know which one that is, but
sorry, I'm
is not
listening
an
to air
issue
traffic
at the
control. I'm
moment.
getting totally distracted
Proceed
by this
direct
story.
the field, and then when you get closer in, I'll give you a landing clearance.
Yeah, so we took him straight to the vets. They hadn't got a clue what this lump was. It felt
Echo
very
Mike
solid,
Sierra.
which is
Echo Mike Sierra, Edmonton, altimeter
unfortunate.
3,000, 3000.
So we opted, probably the best course of action would be to,
United
Have it
2174,
removed.
say you're passing altitude.
which obviously isn't cheap,
United 2174,
but
passing
definitely better
9,800.
than the alternate. And
United 2174, turn right direct, no and on course.
he's
climb,
scheduled
flight level
for surgery
210.
a week on Monday. God bless him.
Direct no SIF on course, 210.
Anyway, I was giving him a good
2174.
rub down this morning, and
And 2174, just for your information for next time, the
as
speed
I
limit
ran
on
my
the
hand over
departure is
this
7,000 feet.
big golf ball-sized lump that we discovered earlier on in
United
the week,
2174, 7,000.
it suddenly shrunk and not disappeared, but is completely receded in on itself and shrinking away. So now we're kind of like thinking, well, what was that? What is it? It wasn't a fatty lump. The vet said this doesn't feel like a fatty lump, which is why they elected for surgery pretty much straight away. So there you go. Fingers crossed it isn't anything too
Air Canada
too serious.
240, when ready, descend 14,000. The Edmonton altimeter is 3000.
When ready, descend altitude 14,000, altimeter 3000, Air Canada 240. Jayhawk, he's eating Jasper. No, he's not eating the training captain. Tell me the game, how do you get the non-version of Navigraph? You have to pay for it, I'm afraid.
Air Canada 240, did you want to stay on the star? Would you like to go direct to the intermediate fix on the ILS?
We can go direct, Air Canada 240.
Air Canada 240, the star is cancelled. Go direct to Hampo.
Direct Hampo for Air Canada 240. Doesn't change our top of descent too much, but it does just make things a little easier for us. We're going to be headed down in a minute. Let's just get the information in. So wind is 010 at 11. QNH is 3000.
United 2174, climb flight level 390.
And our temperature is
Climb flight level 390.
21 degrees. Is that warm for Canada, 21 degrees? VAP speed is 138.
Ladies and gentlemen, from flight deck once again, this is your captain speaking, and you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly starting our descent into our destination. The cabin crew will shortly begin preparing the aircraft for our arrival, and if you could make sure all the aisles are now clear so that the captain can make the way around the aircraft safely, that would be most appreciated. Thank you very much, and we hope you've enjoyed your flight.
So Nick, the vets don't know yet. Thought we'd leave it over the weekend, and if it disappears completely, we're going to call them back and go, you know that lump you were going to remove? It's gone. We don't know where. Talia, hey mate, didn't you see you come into the chat? A cool summer day, not unusual for Edmonton. 21 degrees is just nice. I like 21 degrees. Right, we're going to get down to altitude. 14,000 feet. Sounds very strange saying that. To the saddle, open descent, 14,000 blue. Oh, I've just pressed the wrong button there. Nixana is celebrating 2 months of membership. Nixana, thank you so much. Thanks for keeping the great content coming. We know what you mean, Nixana. You're very welcome. This should be a nice straight-in approach. I like this. Christian says if you ask someone from Alberta, they'll say -10 is warm. I can't even begin to imagine how cold it can get up in northern Canada.
Edmonton Center, helicopter Charlie Delta, Echo Mike Sierra to land, direct stars hangar. That's just right off the numbers on runway 30.
Echo Mike Sierra. There's no traffic in Edmonton at this time. Winds are 350 at 11 knots. You're clear to land.
Cleared to land, Charlie Delta, Echo Mike Sierra.
See, now this is interesting because I've just set a 30-mile radius ring around here. 30 miles, I want to be about 10,000 feet. It's telling me I'm going to be leveling off around there. I'm going to be at 14,000 feet. That to me means I'm going to be quite high. In fact, we can see that because if I go here, yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull open descent. I'm going to wind that speed up. Let's get ourselves down a little bit faster, shall we? That's a bit better. Bear in mind that I need to slow down as well. Well, whoever, I've forgotten who it was that said it now, but you certainly called it. That looks very flat. And Zakate on Twitch, thank you so much for the follow. Tally says you don't do well in hot, humid weather. That's the reason you're seriously considering moving about 4 hours north. Wow. So, what would the temperature be 4 hours north? Lucas and Talia are now just talking about places. I have absolutely no idea where they are. But you guys carry on. Oh guys, I've got some exciting news for you as well. So, the 25,000 subscriber special long all day live stream. I think we're looking at penciling a date in of the 15th of July. That is a Friday, 15th of July, which would look to start around 8:30 Zulu time in the morning, go around to around 1600 Zulu time in the afternoon.
Good evening, EG553 is with you with information.
Loaded with giveaways all day.
EG553, good day to you, Edmonton Center. Squawk 0466.
The Pack Andrew, your rabbit had a lump on her tummy. It was getting bigger and bigger. She got scanned. The vet said it was babies. Yes, well, First Officer George is most certainly not having babies. So yeah, if you want to get that in your diary, guys, the 15th of July, there's going to be giveaways galore, and we're going to be having a great time.
EV553, Edmonton Center, how do you read?
Easy 553? 13 babies? Jesus. God bless her. J-Hug, you don't want a George. Could you imagine a baby George? Oh, it was really upsetting when we found. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? Everyone loves their pets, and then we've had George longer than we've had the kids. To find out he got a lump, which potentially seemed very, very serious. I mean, technically it still could be, but it's reducing by the day, it seems. It was quite an upsetting moment. Dishy, what breed of dog is George? Well. He's a crossbreed. So, absolutely not a pedigree. People describe him as a Disney dog. He's just, yeah. Awesome looking dog, but he's as scruffy as they come. He's a proper Disney dog. And there is technically 3 dogs in him, because his mother was also a cross, but his dad was a purebred. I could offer a substantial cash reward if anyone could guess the 3 dogs that was in George. And I know I would be safe. You've got more chance of winning the lottery than guessing the 3 dogs that are in George.
Good afternoon, Edmonton Center, Alaska 318 on the ground at Edmonton with information from Romeo looking for higher path to Seattle.
Look at these grid lines. Are these just how the roads
Alaska 318,
work
good day to you. It's
in
Edmonton
Canada?
Center. Cleared to the Seattle airport via the MyPot 1 departure
Absolute
flight plan
grids.
route, departing on runway 30 on the
Thought it was an
squawk
American
is
thing.
0625.
Clear to the Seattle Spirit International Airport by the 5,000 feet and score 0625.
Alaska 318.
J-Hug, are you allowed to
is
answer
correct.
that? Do you even know,
Correct.
J-Hug? Do you actually know the 3 dogs that are in him?
And call for taxi.
Sam says Husky Poodle and Great Dane. No.
Air Canada 240, descend 5,000.
Descend 5,000, Air Canada 240. 5,000 blue. Approach checklist.
Easy 553, how do you read Edmonton Center?
Arrival briefing is completed. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums 2525 set. Engine mode selects a normal. EFB is stowed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned
Ty says Prairies, Alberta, Saskatchewan, I can't even say that, Manitoba are largely grids. Ontario somewhat gridded, somewhat not. They really are. Solid grids those, aren't they?
They are secured safely and ask a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance.
Nick, there was a picture of First Officer George in the VIP room, that is correct. Christian says Labradoodle Schnoodle.
Find the
Nope.
airline magazine in the front pocket providing you with lots of information about the channel.
J-Hog says George is a cross between a Jack Nicholson in Silence of the Lambs and Jim Carrey in The Mask. Depending on whether he's hungry or not. Sarah 2411, good evening. Yeah, maybe a bit late, but you're about to see the best bit, which is always the landing, isn't it?
Easy 553, Edmonton Center.
So, we're getting that straight in approach, which is lovely. Nick says Yorkshire Terrier, Jack Russell and Sausage Dog. Sausage Dog? Nope. Jeds, baby, you're on the sauce tonight. Well, you know, it is Canada Day, and it's also Friday. Andrew, VATSIM is basically you basically run a little program in the background. It connects to the VATSIM network, and that automatically allows you then to talk to ATC controllers on the same network. There's plenty of YouTube videos around on that, so worth checking that out. Coming up on 10,000 feet, so we'll get our landing lights on. Activate our approach phase as well. And India Echo Golf is identified. Jed, the GPU is absolutely fabulous. And no, we're not on. We're now on an SSD. Right, profile doesn't look bad now. But that's the reason I put this fixturing, just in case you get something like a direct, something like that. It just means that it'll help us.
Canada 240, cleared the ILS approach runway is 02 in Edmonton via Hampo. Call established on final. Altitude's your discretion now.
Cleared ILS approach, runway 02, altitude at discretion, will report final as Air Canada 240. Nearly said Alpine then. Yeah, Lucas, we're just pulling the speed back now. Star was cancelled, and we're going to hopefully intercept that ILS in well, in around 10 miles time. Speed's now good. A little bit bumpy, isn't it?
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for landing.
Edmonton Center, close to descend, spot level 140, alternative 300, east contact rate.
So the platform altitude for the approach is 5,000 feet, as if we recall. Coming straight in at Hampo.
What's that, 2311, and happy Canada Day to you as well. You're cleared to the Calgary Airport on the Texal 1 departure, the flight planned route. Departing on 08 today, and the squawk is 0271.
So Lucas, yeah, go on then, let me give you the answer. The answer to the glide question. I can't remember if anyone did get this, but
02,
congratulations if you did. 2 miles per 1,000 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be relieved to know we are about to land. Please make sure you see.
I said 2311, your readback is correct. Push and start at your discretion. Taxi, hotel.
Lock blue.
Hold short of Juliet and call for taxi from there.
Nicely below the glide slope now, so we can just reduce that even more. We can squeeze 200 feet per minute out. Crumpet. My son's just filled his Pampers right as we're coming in on final. Do you know what? I bet that happens so much in real life as well, with the babies crying with the pressure changes. Radar altimeter alive. Flaps 1, speed's checked. Flaps 1. Cloud in between us and the runway, but we've still got a visual, so that's okay. .180 knots set. On the localizer, quite slow blue. Lights up star. 5,000 feet set. Air Canada 240 established runway 02.
Air Canada 240, winds in Edmonton 350 at 11, clear to land runway 02.
Clear to land 02, Air Canada 240.
Alaska 318, ready for taxi.
Alaska 318, Romeo still current, the altimeter in Edmonton 3000. Taxi Alpha Charlie and Alpha, hold short 30.
Romeo current, Alpha Charlie, short 30, 318.
Didn't need to get flaps 2 out as soon as sometimes we do, because we got a bit of a headwind helping us slow down, so we were staying on profile quite nicely. But we're obviously getting closer now, so I'm going to go to manage speed and we'll get configured. Gear down.
United 2174, you're going to be leaving the Edmonton airspace
Flaps
in a few
3,
miles.
speed's
There's
checked.
no onward
Flaps
ATC
3.
at the moment, so your service terminates for today. You can monitor Unicom now on 22.8. Thanks for flying.
Lights on.
2174 over to Unicom. Have a good day.
And flaps full. Waving around a little bit, isn't it? Landing checklist. Cabin secured, auto thrust speed, go around altitude is 5,000 set, ECAM memo, landing no blue. I've lined up a replay as well at the end of this, so we can check that out once we've touched down.
1,000.
1,000 feet. Remember, our go around would be toga, go around flaps, pitch up, FMAs, positive rate, landing gear, and then thrust reduction at around 3,300 feet. I have control.
$500. $100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
Light slope. Light slope.
40,
Too low.
30,
3,
20, retard. 5,
Spoilers deployed. Reverse green. Decel. Center notch reverses off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at our destination. The crew will now commence preparing the aircraft for the boarding. Can passengers please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. You may now turn on your phones and electronic devices. Thank you for choosing to fly with us today, and please consider becoming a channel member to receive extra benefits on your future flights with us.
Air Canada 240, where are you parking today?
No specific parking stand, so we're happy to follow guidance.
Air Canada 240, taxi south on Bravo. You can enter the apron at Victor, and then it's your discretion.
South on Bravo, apron at Victor, and then discretion for the stand. Thanks very much, Air Canada 240. Have a great Canada Day.
Oh, you as well. Thanks a lot for flying.
Right, let's have a look at the charts and see where it is we're going. Welcome to Edmonton, guys. Must say FS Realistic does indeed add so much to the immersion when touching down, etc. So we're south on Bravo, then we can enter left on Victor, which is, I think, first left we get to after here. Nick says it's a very British accent for the crew of Air Canada. Should we actually start the APU? Glad we've got a replay tool that's straightforward and easy to use.
Alaska 318, fly the runway heading and give me a call airborne. In Edmonton, the winds are 350 at 11. You're clear takeoff, runway 30.
Runway heading, cool and airborne, clear takeoff 30, Alaska 318.
Does anyone else find, and I'm talking specifically now to people who flew Microsoft Flight Simulators pre this edition, so FSX, 2004, 2002, 2000, 95, 98, etc. Did anyone find that when this Flight Simulator 2020 came out, we all looked at default airports and thought, wow, these are amazing, they're so detailed, they're so lifelike compared to previous reincarnations of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and now seeing what the modders have done, and obviously payware airports, things like that, we're looking at default airports now in Microsoft Flight Simulator thinking, oh my god, this is just bland and rubbish, come on, it should be better than this. And it's so easy to forget where we came from. Jez Baby, the main thing with the APU because of COVID is you need to have the APU bleed on whenever there are passengers on board.
Edmonton Center, helicopter Charlie Delta Echo Mike Sierra, request taxi to the active for VFR departure to the east.
Echo Mike Sierra, VFR eastbound is approved. The squawk for you is 0521.
I believe that was an Alaskan aircraft.
0521, Echo Mike Sierra.
Echo Mike Sierra, Feedback is correct. It's now Sierra. The weather just rolled over. The altimeter is 3000. Did you want to depart from the apron, or did you want to hover over to the threshold of 30?
I'll hover over to the threshold, Echo Mike Sierra.
And center, Alaska 318, 4000.
Alaska 318, Edmonton Center, you're identified. Turn left, direct to Andy, and on course, climb flight level 210.
Direct left to Andy.
Sega says, yeah, every time you catch yourself thinking that, you go back to Flight Sim 98 and 2000, indeed. And Tally says it was amazing when it came out. The models have just taken it to a new level. And Christian, if every airport was handcrafted, you'd need decades to download the sim.
Alaska
and a
318, I don't
petabyte
think that
SSD.
transmission was complete. Climb flight level 210 and direct Andy.
210 direct Andy, Alaska 318.
Jeds, baby, was that a guy ignoring his kid to fly? Get the priorities. Have you never heard Dark Fury's child in the background? Where's this guy?
Micah Sierra, you can taxi over to the threshold of 30 at your discretion. Call ready to go.
Taxi Ultra 30, column ready, Echo Mike Sierra.
And we're good to hold that there. Ewok on Twitch. Hello, sir. Thank you for the bit. Hope you've had a great flight with us today. Or if you just tuned in as we're about to shut down. Thank you for the follow as well. Let me just get that APU bleed on, and now we can shut our engines down.
Center, Western 170.
Engines 1 and 2 shut down.
For your clearance.
Yep, go ahead.
See
Push
what
at
signs
178,
off.
cleared the Vancouver airport via the MyPot 1 departure.
Beacon.
Flight planned route departing 30 on the squawk 0336.
And set the squawk.
Clear Vancouver, MyPot 1 out of 30, squawk 0336.
All done.
Push at 178.
Right,
Your read back
let me
is
check out that
correct. The
replay.
information is Sierra.
So I'm just going to disconnect off VATSIM. There we go. And Pilotcraft, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, guys. Unfortunately, we have just finished, but I am about to show the replay. Now, I've shut all the engines down for this, so this replay could be interesting. I would imagine the Fenix is about to scream at me, but we'll have a go anyway and see what happens. So let me check this out. Yeah, I told you. Knew it'd scream at me. Oh, hang on. There's one thing I forgot to do here. I have to actually press play. Otherwise, it doesn't play the replay. It just lets me do the landing again. Tell you what, let's come out. Look at all these warnings. Do you know what? This will just be a laugh. 1 second. There you go. Everything's nothing's working. Should we just enjoy the landing, guys? Phoenix descending instead of Phoenix rising. Absolutely right. Howling crazy that self-loading cargo passengers do scream if I forget to tell them that they're about to be transported through time and space. Kristen says, I recall a situation in which Dark got an ATC call and his son was screaming in the background like he really didn't like the ATC instruction. Well, we've all done that. Roadrunner, thank you for the follow as well. And Trucky Shrews, thank you for subscribing, the Prime sub. Really kind of you, mate. Thank you so much. Hope to see you on our next flight. And just remember that the all-day live stream will be taking place. Pencil it in. Should be, subject to change, but should be Friday the 15th of July. I tell you, the A320T. The T stands for TARDIS. See, those fields look a little bit more wheatish, do they not? Wonder when Canada's going to get a world update. I imagine that's going to look amazing. FS Realistic doing a really nice job with the effects there, I think. Very neat. Let's quickly rewind, check out the other window view as we come in. It's hard to pick which one, isn't it, really? Let's go for the back one. No bricks, this seems to be an unusual route for EasyJet to fly. Indeed it is, no bricks. Which is why we're in Air Canada today. No breaks excited for GSX in Belfast. I did see that, yes. Can you hear the brakes as we touch down as well? I kind of like a little high-pitched scream again, something FS Realistic adds when we apply those brakes. JG says, to be honest, I've been having so much fun with the Dark Star. You haven't flown the A320 much. Going around the world in 4 hours is just too insane. Well, the thing is, Jed, how many people, because I certainly don't, have 4 hours spare to be able to do that? I wish I'd got 4 hours to be able to do that. Sadly, that is not the case. Right, I might see what this landing looked like from a spectator's perspective. That looks alright, actually. Centre line looks really neat. Let's just rewind that, shall we, and have a quick look as that comes in. Oh, well that's annoying. I thought I'd unlocked that. Try again. Turn that off. Total 4M flights. Wow. That's dedication. How lovely. Maybe Naked HD is owned by Google. Maybe that's how they get on. Well guys, that's it. That is us done for the day. Thank you so much for joining me on this very special Canada Day special flight. I hope you have enjoyed it. It's been good fun. Something a little bit different, and certainly not the normal kind of routing that we fly. So thank you so much. For those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel through our stream today, thank you so much. For those of you who have donated EasyJet channel member subscriptions, thank you guys, really do appreciate that. And of course to the EasyJet Inbound channel members, thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. And of course, welcome to our new members. Make sure you get yourself in our membership lounge on the Discord server as well. I'm going to leave you with the final replay of his touchdown as we play this out. Have a great weekend, everyone. I look forward to chatting to you on the Discord server, and see you all on the next live stream. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.